with their instructions. If it happens that somebody finishes ahead of them, just give up their best, and whatever their best is at the end of it, once they give up their best, we are satisfied that they follow through, at the end of it, we'll be victorious either way.
Well answered. Julie Phillips, head of the Physical Education Department at Springer Memorial School. And Springer Memorial still leading the girls. I think the gap has closed a bit over the years. Nevertheless, we look forward to the end result, and maybe we'll be interviewing Julie Phillips once more at Springer Memorial if they do it, maintain, or rather be the first to win the Esther Maynard zone and this new format. Julie, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
1 2, 1 2, 1 2. We are back here and giving you live coverage of the Barbados Secondary Schools Athletic Championships. Next, the under 13 boys 800 meters. The Bssac record, 2 minutes 17.27, set by Willan Louis of the St. Leonard's Boys in 1995. Willan Louis, what an outstanding record that was then, 2:17.27. So we'll introduce the competitors for this one. There are two-time finals coming up for the under 13 boys. Amari Knight of St. Leonard's Boys, Ayanto Brewer of Harrison College, Dimitri Zacco of the Ursuline Convent, from Grantley Adams, Leonardo Herwood, from Combermere, Aaron Hinkson, from the St. George Secondary, Simon John, from the Allen School, Nadre Butcher, and from the Christchurch Foundation, Jabriel Boyce. Under 13 boys, 200 meters. So again, these, what we're seeing here, actually, I would have read to you that there's one section. However, on the track, it seems as though all the competitors will be going in this one. They probably have condensed it to one race rather than having the two, and there are 15 guys contesting here, because I'm seeing two from St. George Secondary, Simon John and Darius Boyce, those two. And again, to explain the start, using the waterfall start, where half of the field would be on the lower end of the scratch line, and then there's another scratch line above where the other half will be occupied. Now these runners, they will have to stay between lanes 1 and 4 until they reach over by the 1500-meter start, where they will break and go into lane 1, as was done. So the two competitors from St. George Secondary, Simon John and Darius Boyce, they are up front. And yes, they have gone into the lead. So a field of 15 going here for the under 13 boys 800 meters, and lots of different ways that you can start an 800-meter event. We'll get to that in a little bit, but we'll go right back on track and try to pick it up here as the guys approach the bell, meaning 1 lap to go. St. George Secondary 1-2 in this one so far. Simon John and Darius Boyce doing quite well here. And from the Allen School, Rashawn Smith, he's in 3rd, and in 4th position, trying to pick out that um, outfit there. It's green and yellow. But we can tell you up front, the two boys from St. George Secondary leading. They have a plan, it seems to. They're running like, oh my. Here comes Rashawn Smith of the Allen School making that break now. Trying to break down these two guys from St. George. They will not have it. Two guys from St. George Secondary will not have it at all. Simon John and Darius Boyce, they're running quite well as a pair there. So it's Boyce and John of the St. George Secondary. I don't think Rashawn Smith is finished yet, though. I think Rashawn Smith is going to try to break up that St. George duo, but they're still there. John and Boyce of St. George Secondary. This is the under 13 boys 800 meters. And as they come up the straightaway, it's John and Boyce, St. George Secondary. Simon John, Darius Boyce coming up to finish. St. George Secondary will get 18 points from this one. And it's Simon George of St. George finishing in first. Darius Boyce of St. George in second. Smith of the Allen School and Butcher of the Allen School. So that's a good one there for the Allen picking up some points. Zacco of the Ursuline Convent finishing in fifth position. Wow. So that was some good running there from that duo of St. George Secondary. Simon John, the winner of the under 13 boys 800, and Darius Boyce of St. George Secondary finishing in second. So those two will be automatic qualifiers for the final for sure. St. George Secondary looking good in their Allen School finishing second, third, and fourth. Good job from those guys. So the under 13 boys doing quite well. The under 15 girls will be up next, and they have one section as well with 15 girls contesting the under 15. So I believe what has been done here, and again to save some time, the athletes, the organizers have combined the two sections. Instead of having two-time finals, they're just having one race, which is good. Some of those athletes who may have to contest other events, give them some time to rest, some additional time rather. And that under 20 boys high jump seems to be very exciting. So the girls are out already. The under 15 girls already out. The Bssac record, 2 minutes 21.10, set by Sheena Gooden of the Lodge School in 1995. Of course, Sheena Gooden went on to represent Barbados, earned a track scholarship. She's now back in Barbados, and I believe she's somewhere in this arena. I saw her yesterday. Sheena doing quite well at Austin Peay State University, and Sheena Gooden was entered into the Austin Peay University's Hall of Fame for her outstanding collegiate career there, as well as Aisha Maycock. Those two doing Elvis Ford proud, who also another outstanding Barbadian track and field athlete. Then he was the head coach of Austin Peay State University, and those two were standouts while there. So Sheena Gooden holds the record of 221.10. Let's see how these girls will do here. The defending champion, Ashley Weeks of the St. Michael's School, the winner last year, 228.27. I believe Ashley Weeks has now moved up into another age category, so we won't see her defending her title. So this field, a big field of 15 girls, Alika Wilcher of the Allen School, Zara Gaskin of Harrison College, Janine Howell of Ellerslie, Catherine Duquette of the Ursuline Convent, Ladidra Granum of Springer Memorial, Christian Sherlin of the Allen School, Janelle Reed of Parkinson Memorial, Kian Graham of St. George Secondary, Aisha Foster of Ellerslie, Tamisha Cadogan of Springer Memorial, Shiara Chase of Christchurch Foundation, Sky Loden Blaber of Harrison College, Kyla Cummins of Christchurch Foundation, Christiana Ram of the Ursuline Convent, and Jody Smith Padmore of the Commonwealth